Hello, midin di banche. Mi wonuanom bebrebe na die me nua odi nkan ene de otoso mienu pe ene na be se me ne mo Cassava ye ho. Ye aduane bi a ye hu hia ma oman Ghana ne wiase aman nyina ye. Ye feedi over 8 million pepem nipa pepem wo wiase. Nanso nye nipa nyina anenim ye ho mfaso. Dodo na edua ye wie na no anoa omudi wie anu ano no wo monim yeso mfaso eno ntine ne dai mato mensa frɛ o se bra SOS na ebetie ya bakosem ya nwensem a ye wo ma wo ye frɛ Cassava banche sana dodo na anim ye okoye ba bia wiasa fanya ba bia na ubehia ye aduane bia almost aduane bia omu bi na de medi beja no se kane no na ye maame mo kwa afuo mu a na omo ba nchampesie na omo de enwo kontomre anase nkate kakra twim afam de ununu so wi a wamen ti enede nyabotre ne tie ye ho mfaso na so fam aba na fa ye odwuma unlocking its importance and maximizing the value added chain. My name is Cassava. Hello, ebusiafo. Yema mo nyina akwaba. Nyame nhyira mo. Ewo abrebia no do a mode wo ma SOS. Sometimes eduru bia na ebromenti ase so. Na ni nyina no nyame nhyira ma mo. Yebema ye papa Mr. Ferris akwaba. Mr. Ferris bacho akwaba.
Ye nua apom di say.
Nyame adom pacho boko na so
Nyame adom obi aho ye.
Yeda nyame ase. Ebusiafo happy Easter. Emma ebusiafo nyina ye na ewo Ghana, ye na ye ni Ghana. Omo eni Easter so no, ye nua Muslimfo so no, omo di idi Mubarak so enche bia, omo sa so ye mo obi bia, tie obi bia occasion wo mu no, ye de emu nchia na ede ema no. Ene de Cassava unlocking its importance no. Ya de bia mpese etwe adwen ba so because ebi mu de afaso ayeyie abibia adwuma kese ya na sometimes wo Facebook wa uhu se pictures na ya heap bunch bebrebe for industrial reason ya de dodo na so no ekro mu nso a ye de anse bedua na ya turn no market na obi ato no de akodi mfufuo na wanu nso aguso eno ntira mebese me no umie no ene de ye besua de wo sa video mu amato nsa frɛ mpanimfo sɛ omomra na yensua mu niama because ye operation feed Ghana processing mu ano no program no mu ano no ena yense ne no operation feed Ghana no eba na ese ekɔ until se ye begin the main focus on the purpose no aim no ana se ye geni kran so a ye betoko so aye eno nti to nsa frɛ abusuafo aka bia obi an share link ni mai wa the first time so we share SOS no ye da was say wa click o video so nyame nhyira wo kan ye ho by subscribing then like video no your many videos wo ho a ya Cassava niema bebrebe ho omo ma ye business ya ekoso omo challenges any ade okwa SOS channel no so a ubenya mu bebrebe Facebook won so ye postu promote ye ho inyuma no ti se wo adwuma bi so na pese wo hia se ye promote man so a oba e betimi a promote ama ebe man so kwani agye Mr. First Cassava se ye Cassava edi pa na obese wo ne Canada because cassava feeds over millions of people worldwide, but most of us, especially in Ghana, no, we don't realize its full potential. Why, please?
Yo, me that's it, Mr. Charles. Michia, wetie for na obia otie mbia. You wish you more happy Easter. So yeah, now in the topic I audio to Jano, a very important. Senior Okaya cassava crop beer. It feeds a lot of people all over the world. So Oshe countries are or more grow cassava. Nigeria na ethos first. Nigeria grow a lot of cassava na across the globe no omo motoso and sana DR Congo aba Thailand aba and sana Ghana craba tutum say Ghana cra toss about 4. So you realize cassava is one of the crops a year yɛdua no more ɛwɔ various countries. So wohwɛ the other countries, I was a country for I mentioned, but wohwɛ Cambodia, Brazil, Indonesia, Vietnam, Angola, Mozambique, Tanzania, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Malawi, India, China, Benin, Zambia, all those countries, no ɛkɔ try say obedua cassava nibi because you can use it for not just for food alone, but there are a lot of industrial use. So we have a lot to talk about today. Its importance, we will take it one by one and discuss it. But say you can't value China. So we will start from its production all the way to its consumption. So you can't value chain. It talks about some of the activities, some of the program, what do you call it? Some of the steps that you have to go through from production all the way before it gets to the what do you call it? It gets to the table or it gets to the factory or industry. Eno yeah yebeka ho asem. So I don't know. So question be or why baby science sana masha.
Yeah, question. Kakra me pese me de ye na me jama on because then say in I think it's when it will be a trade maybe to Facebook, no can be say I'm going to cassava for say the no person for 3 or 4 acres of a year. And see that's all. But we mitimi ade ba kwa mitimi say ni me ne pot ya opeso okudua banche no na onim. Oh, eti ene dey no maybe say umayetimi nya another view of see a person yako cassava production mo a ede na wo se nya be na wo se focus just say even less capital kora say na say zero capital kora no your land na obi a che banche nua ye nhya se mfiri ho nti by the way mpanimfo mo a monhia Mr. Ferris book no anase mo a mon sanka mo de no wokɔ Amazon na enanyum ye wia na so kyenya mpa no pa mesa share link no Facebook channel no so sorry Facebook page no so and your WhatsApp community no so no ɛwɔ hɔ mo a mon san mon to obi no mon kɔkɔ hwɛ kyerɛ kwan because ye senior or ye consultant ya on so obo no modern pa yie na ukura book ni bi na de wo ye no ubie mu na wo de toto de wo ye no ho na there's nothing say challenges in bakura wontimi nye dey uncover about it when I was opening mbacha wotimi to aso.
Yo, said if you are entering into any business, senior kayeno, also hunyentia oko sa business name. It is not because of say inkrofo edua banking intimacy kwa kuduebi that be. You first of all have to know say okay, so banking amekwa kudua no. What is the main aim? What is the main purpose? Intimekwa kudua banking. Because remember say we have several varieties of cassava. Not all those varieties are for consumption. Some of them are for industrial purposes. Some of them are for feeding animals, and then some of them are also good for our friend human consumption. So, so all into cassava production, you really want to make sure, say, you are having a specific goal and objective as to what you are going to achieve with the type of variety or friend agro. But before we get into it in details, no, we have what we call the cassava value chain. And the yeka ho asem. Now cassava value chain, so wosha ya what the pre-production and sana uba bidria cassava no. Then there was a way. So and sana ya the production itself. Wilbur production, no. Then there was a way. I think that is the piece very important. I will say, yet to me, I can because it is not like say Okoya nowadays, Banchimbiano, Akoshefe, then you expect it to grow without you doing anything. It doesn't happen like that. There are a lot of things involved in the production process, and also and then processing. After the processing, you market it, you distribute it, and then we consume it. So the consumption can be in several areas. Say all human beings are consuming it, animals are consuming it, or we are sending it to the industry for further processing and for industrial product development. Into yeah, beshe sa nyomanina. But what I want to focus on first, no, the production itself. But before then, no, the person share the pre-cultivation requirement, and I say, na friend no pre-production, and sana over the co-production in Ukraine. Then I was away. So uh, area now kwa cassava. You have to do what we call market survey on the cassava product. Is it for the consumption type? Is it for the animal type? Or is it for the industrial type? Now that product now kwakudiano, area where now are people interested in. Also a site selection. So now we share soil if it is good for crop production. Now the size and the shape of the cuttings in the so also will take it into consideration because so person will divide the cassava sticker. Make sure say at least you have about 5 to 7 nodes. So on the stick and sana the idea chef. So that is for the pre production. And then when you get into production itself, there are a lot of things that you have to do. Example, your land preparation. So say I was all plow land now. Do you have the equipment to do that? So control weeds just make sure say most farmers nowadays uses herbicides, which we are not encouraging. But say if that is the option that you have, you spray about 3 to 4 weeks before you go and plant and you go and plow. By then, now running now then into no ukudria, you don't have to deal with weeds that much. So, but keep in mind, sir, the wish, so when control wish now, we will come back to that. But when control wish now, you can lose almost about 60% of your crop, and that is a disaster. Until make sure, sir, we share sa so. And you can either plant it on ridges for good root development. So also and you loose now a very clear. That is not a good soil for our cassava production because cassava no a root and it has to be able to penetrate into the soil without much resistance. So when you're loamy soil, sandy loam type of soil, and no boy ma it to me a go deep down and develop nicely. So, all cutting stems now, a spacing of about by 1 meter will give you about 4,000 plant per acre. So 4,000 plant acre. But say we use to 80 centimeters by 100 centimeters, you are looking at about 5,000 plant per acre. So the number of plants you are going to have on your field will depend on the type of spacing that you are giving. But now make maybe we have spacing is very critical because who the bomb kakra na se canopy for me at a certain point, it may control which you don't have to deal with it that much. The better and what's later. So, share you have to plant it in rows, and then also look at your manual planting. Nipa plant here. Do you have those number of people to help plant 5,000 plants per acre? Assuming that you have 5 acres, then it means that you are going to plant about 20,000 plant. So it is 4 acres now could be about 20,000 plants. Then you will need a lot of people to do that. Instead, also we are very critical when it comes to the planting aspect of it. So over the weed management because weeds are a very very important part. So you concentrate on the weeds. Like I said, weed control is very critical, especially the first and the third month, because crops before and sun harvest, it gets to about between 12 to probably about 18 months for it to get into about maturity. So, and I say 8 to 12 months before it gets into maturity, somewhere like that. Into the first to third month, the weed control is very, very critical. If you don't do that, you can lose between 30 to 60% of your crops. So, now Yami Wadumna said plant to establish a formula, you don't have to deal with that much because the canopies, a bit reduce plant, a bit reduce or friend plant, what do you call it, weeds, from penetrating. So, keep that in mind as well. There are a lot of diseases, there are a lot of pests that you have to deal with. We'll not go into that. But one of the major diseases, cassava mosaic virus. Cassava mosaic virus, I say, any seal plant, there is nothing you can do, say, over destroy plant. And to make sure, say, you are getting, before you even start planting, you are getting, what do you call it, disease-resistant varieties. And sana, why then, what could be? And yes, so when you have a problem now, you will really lose most of your crops. So, that is the one main disease that because we don't have much time. There are a lot to talk about. So, land preparation. Like I said, by 12 to 18 months, now the crops is ready for harvest. So the stem should be prepared under a tree shade, and then you mulch it before you go and put it in the soil. So in ube harvest, one of the things I was keep in mind, we afraid be coppicing. And what you have to do is ube cut the top of the plant, so ube cut top of the plant, all of them, and that helps with harvesting. So we ayema utumi harvested without causing a lot of bruises to the root, which is the edible part in here harvested. Into no okopisia, that will help you to reduce those cuttings. Now, say then you also want to find a way to store it, because assuming say you have harvested a lot of cassavas and you don't have a storage facility, that can also be a problem. Or you don't have a means of processing it, that can also be a lot of problem. We'll talk about several ways of harvesting, what do you call it, preserving cassava. You can dry, you can store in a cold condition. You can wax it. It will be more the wax effa bona very shiny. That one is to reduce what they call it, transpiration. Remember, so what harvest the crop now? The crop is still alive, it's not dead. There is what they call it, transpiration going on. It is still losing water, it is still respiring. So you have to make sure that you reduce that occurrence. You spray with wax, and that wax will prevent the loss of water. Or preserve a better. So we are. Then we come to processing, and this is where we want to dwell. I'll say dwell or about the processing. There are a lot of things that ube to me a use cassava for. The leaves, okay, can be used for several things, and the root can also be used for several things. So the cassava root can be used as cassava flour. That one is used for baking. Okay. Nowadays, we even have cassava bread. Okay. So you can get into cassava flour. Okay. Cassava flour, no, you can use it as fufu, gari. We have even cassava chips or fries. You can boil the cassava, baked it, can be eaten raw as potatoes. Like I said, we have cassava bread. We have the root can also be used as alcohol production. It's used to brew traditional, or can also be used as bioethanol. So tapioca, which is a very common use of cassava. But say industrial user, so the bioethanol, to me use now is as a source of fuel. So they can also be used as animal feed because it contains a lot of carbohydrate. And to know carbohydrate percentage of your feed mass, you can use cassava as that. And then textile industry also uses that starch. Into say cassava now will produce, if it is for starch production, just know that the textile industry also uses that. And then we have some that are also used in glues and also adhesives. We have glue, adhesives that can also, cassava root can also be used to produce that. And even paper production as a binding or coating agent. So, say people simple who at the end normal binding that says starch be and say move to me use cassava at the year. So, and then it can also be used as biodegradable product. It's used in making what they call packaging materials that can easily degrade. Say a cup be na ebi also bon say ice cream cone so no more use no more the into those are product are to me a use a develop it. That's over leaves now. So there are some of the cassava, no, the leaves are good for as vegetables. So Sierra Leone, for example, used it a lot. Liberia used it a lot. I know, sir, Ghana, some tribe also use it a lot, but most people don't like it when they are using the leaves. But it's becoming popular. I have crano so stores are my package cassava leaves. Nice, people buy it a lot. So target human consumption. You want to plant cassava leaves, edible. So edible. The leaves also serve as a source of protein. It contains what they call amino acids called lysine. Lysine is also or friend amino acid that leaves containing. It can also be used in traditional medicine. Okay, in some cultures, it's used to treat ailments like rheumatism and I said diarrhea. So So it can remove certain toxin out of your body. Those who know much about cassava as traditional medicine, they can tell you more about it. But what I'm saying is that it also has some medicinal properties. How to control certain common illness. Now, apart from say human beings are using it, the cassava leaves can also be used as a fodder and as an animal feed. You can dry it and then feed it to ruminant. We have leaf meal. You can prepare it and use it to feed animals. But on the other hand, you can also use it as what they call it, green manure. It is not good for consumption. Ube to make use as a green manure. You harvest it and then you mix it in the soil so you return the nutrient to the soil for the next growing season. Or you can compost it. Okay. And in some part of the world, it is used in what do you call it? In as insect repellent. Okay. So cassava porridge, or corn porridge, you can also use it as a cassava porridge. So or cassava noodles. So noodles ya nkrofo edi so yeah, to me use as a noodles. Say a starch and as a carbohydrate. So machines be how to me use develop it now why then we're converting into that and also to me use as cakes or pastries in your pastries. You can use it in fermented beverages. Now, no cosmetics. Ebimu use the powder as beauty product to smoothen their faces. What to me, powder no to me, at the feel for money just to give them. Oh yeah. Yeah, it can be used as a cosmetic product. So, and like I said, bioplastics is so instead of say we'll concentrate on polyplastics, we can use this as a bioplastics, develop it into plastics, biodegradable. So I'll be to me a use. Bioca, inside you to me say, well, friend, the waste in our own panel, which me are converting into bioca. So I don't know, it enriches the soil for plant production. It can also be used in paint and ink. So paint here, the paint. Cassava is also used in painting as paint product. Ebimu etwitwa edigu soup mu or edigu sauce mu. Ebimu so use the leaves as a silage for animal production, and then also as fish farming, fish feed, which we are converting into what do you call it? Fish feed to feed either tilapia or catfish. And in some cultures, cassava leaves are used in herbal remedies to cure what we call malaria. Malaria is cassava leaves can be used to cure malaria. Now, wound treatment. So, butumi aposa na se upra the leaves no I then eguso my enusobeboa. And then also you can use the leaves as a cover or mulch. We've already talked about that. Now you can also use it as even if you don't want to do monoculture, you can do also what we call intercropping to conserve soil health. So these are some of the things to me a use the cassava for. Into
I think say it shows them say F20 and also say 80 SOS average. Maybe more than that, but right now it shows say 20. Me feel like one in Yendro, me patch water. Say information I share no enya de woni gidi a enti na won like dia metewase. Na mum say e refie so dia ne mesre oda ye ne sabri amaye. Say SOS woni nye won tina won subscribe na say me particular person no me character na say me behavior enti na ma won timi subscribe ma SOS ya metewase. Na mum say e refie so de ne de mesre wa sabri ya subscribe ma ye mpacho. Why? Would before so believe no dey subscribe my na say oh yeah adom so a share say the way afofo so betie bi because say o share picture that say ya nano ye video no fa one of our seniors no comment Emmanuel ne James make kai ya o say that into all the liquid eco waste meaning say so now no there's much room for business, there's much room for everyone. Intina ye nyina no ma ye nyina yenye enkamom na ye every time bia na yensua niema na yenhwe ideas no na yentimi reach de obi bia person reach no madam wase Mr. First, sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. One of the problems and a challenge our cassava value chain. Say cassava spoils very quickly. So or harvesting as when you any means to store it and check na say. That is one major problem. International or share cassava production as no, you really have to think about how you are going to process it immediately after harvesting. Poor handling and inadequate facilities will also cause a lot of problem. Say or harvest here, also making sure say the earth is losing. Unfa force any then empulu. Because all the force epulu you are creating wounds. Now wounds no ebe cause the tubers to rot very quickly. Into no or harvest here, make sure say after the coppicing no. So who shaking kakra no will lose the earth no and san why then we pull no easily.
Wow, what did I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, two bunch but so how do you refer?
Yeah. Into no say unim na say ukoya no wetu a ube create wounds na ayama a saint. So into now say and so farmers ehwe ne ye pa na say when you're lucky now uko plant cassava beer any marketer that can also cause farmers to lose their product a lot. Internal also, oh yeah, research is very important. So making sure say in the area now person of cassava, what is the variety? Because there are tons of varieties out there. So you ask yourself, what is the variety? Locality no omo a more. And then of cassava pest and diseases now we have mealybugs, the mites. So, but the one I threaten cassava pa no cassava mosaic virus. So, and I say we have another one called brown streak disease. This one will threaten your yield. Ebema crops will lose almost about close to about 60% of it. Make sure so you are using disease resistance varieties. So now what we're making sure so you don't have much weeds in there because some of the diseases are transmitted by insect. If we're able to get insect out of your field, mawa prevent disease on your field. So look for raw materials, look for a location that you want to grow, look for a cost-efficient production system that you have to adopt. Say also partner with somebody to help you, so a partnership. But more importantly, say who cassava, you don't just go to any farmer at all and get sticks. Yes, so we farmer A and I say farmer B no wako G sticks that be. So also call crop research centers. I mean say research centers are more a developing cassavas. So our hobby brain. As a matter of fact, I have personally worked on cassava research centers before. Until I know, say, Sanuman woho. Until no there you are able to know the type of varieties that are there. They will explain to you what is in the market, and then also tell you their resistant rate, their yield rate. So, Nina Beboam will make it that decision. So, that is what I can say about that. But the best here now say obi or question be who said near O'Shea now video you out there to see who say or harvest you know who say Bruce is be or
Yeah.
aha but Osha when shaking ye so but I didn't go shaking kakra na it loosen the soil around the tubers can you realize say obey me pull without any damage since you are near ebubu no a predispose the tubers to pathogens into no other koto and check bon say a hona shall see then a roto na essay but say a hole without any damage ubo to me a waxy and no a bema adaho ache for several weeks so
Wow.
yeah
For me the link atom say obi wo question be same question be and as a contribution be and as bibia na obeso obebusa no otime busa na ade ba ko a me pese metwe ade ba say cassava stems ya muhui ni bo so abaye din papa because of saying go for who say no ade a obia on say ade bia obia dodo na ye no se first nanka uko banchi dia na ye de che just like that na die ye banchi dia na to na ne to so nye ne bo nye fu ne bo de pa nti yeah mama yenhwe enye bi because wo kra no so de wo ntimi wo ye kra na wie na beton two base ne keke kra na mistakes in the kra no wo betimi ede atom as a raw materials and as a yikra supply obi a on so pese odua bie and sometimes no yetu no ye ko winter mu na yetu wie na banchidua no nyina ko waste because of say yetu go ye guarantee no and as yetu di for Christmas nti wie na nsuo ntorbo se yetu to go ye was some ways ye timi e conserve ba cassava stems no so no for the next farming season no betimi so aye dey anya because the biano and I don't know many obedient commoner or so pe cassava or agogueli mo na me ma surprise ni bi ho cassava stems even America na before that no na obi fufuro so oh na ne boy den because eliem no nyinya bi because say obia banchini ana pro ewia no pe ni bai no upa utu wi to conserve it in fam go say utwa so wi obetimi na sa de sisi form atwentwe nnua bi ase se edua bi a mango dua pe dua ana se wo fom na se edua bi esi wo no odua na se obetimi de ama yi no banchi dua no otwa no se tenti se na wo de sisi form se asa de wodi si wo just keke no but eno no allow do cassava stem no etimi no enya nutrient from ayi no anwea ne mu enti basa na enwu easy and so pe say somehow obetime ama but enwunu kura wo so nti no da bia na wia ntime mo so e ma na engu nti enu farming season no wie no na o store no say is say ka be lose all the 30,000 pieces na ka wo no wo lose wa ye e bia 5,000 pe nti sa ne ma onya ya de bia ya amoma yenye de yenya no ho ahwe yi se de be ya ye because ade ba ko agen say wo ko ba wo ye banchifo sa abre ne ya a car no next year so we can say the same farming a bunch na a kind of form if we say in the beginning no top stems but the next season stems we already input a say I will hold that and I seen them batch boy
sanity
Ti yes anemo ya moma yenhwe nema kidigidi ya moma yenhwe no eyi pa na I think say senior kan you know dodo na ye di adwena bagare so nko a but yeah you so many year loopholes and I say rooms were wobetimi ago aye production I take it from there tama na misua no I think say ye ma me mo ko yi a omo ayi entale no your friends mpo ntoma no say ntoma na omo de ko yi no no
Mm-hmm.
omo timi share starch ana me pa chobe
Yeah.
boa
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nti just an idea na me de ma wo say wo de wo person be ko gare production kura na ko banchi na ye de starch no koko produce na ye starch no for ayi saa ayi no ntoma for mo ko ayi no nti so de community na wor kura no ko obi bia fie bia mo kwaje obi bia ntoma ayi ntoma ne ko hye ne starch ma wo mo just just something like that awia nso so de enye na awia bebo so ama na wo ama wo. You can start from there. And then as I say, yeah, yes, so many a consumption am na too much. Say first in there, now could be one to my a yen to my or means and one or the yes, I know the dada no. It's animal ya dear a moment share. Ye bet me a use for that no. And now almost all more ye beats here and to a and ye do go ya senior that day. Because I said, Mana, dress sister, ye vocational teacher. What try how I bet you should starch. I cassava ya de bees. Oh, eti ubedwa se de na senior kan ubenwa na wanya o search no nsuo no wie na yi ofa yi papers ya no okay paper fold yi watimi afọ no aya oya na se obefo awo no wodrom uwie a wo de starch na fra na wabobọ no ese like aboba kitikiti na wabobọ fa nnua praye kwa na first na ye teacher o me ye ukura praye na the paper na fa ho nti we wie na ade no atimi wo wie a aba be rounds to say bees na esansa wo de praye na ehye mu ni nti no etimi create holes no libu holes no wie a watwe ade afrim ana say wo wie na wo to kura na de to na praye no ehye na ka bees no enti cassava na kasa ho no mamma ye stop wo ni fufuo die ne nko a na ne bancha bishie kwa de ja so ma ye de ukọ many de na ye de ama ahiafo. It's not true because the benefit ya cassava de ma ye no a huge ti muma ye ma ya adwene mra sa anima we so na mama mo nkohwehwe the big business ideas ya bra ye wo sa anima kitikiti bi wo ha se timi kọ na ye change niema bi wo mu a ede esikadie na wede ebebre na was link no so wo so obi wo questions bi a so obi any questions so na ye be sorry so 1 hour time na ede ayai
Say apart from the uses yaka ho asem no, in the pharmaceutical industry no, say they use cassava as a binder.
Wow.
Well, to hold ingredient together.
Wow.
Tablet na aya na ehu no. Ubom say nyomode aye capsules no. So
Yeah.
some of them edru no ye kitikiti bi na ewo mbani na bo na by a starch. So
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
na koto mu na anane na edru no aye den efimaba. And they use some uses cassava for that. Nti mo say capsule, almost use it for capsule production. So now boom say omo use na tablet no aye kese pa but boom say ingredient na aye medicine na ngasa na ka krebi na ewo but no more use starch no and I say cassava flour no as what as a tablet. So in pharmaceutical industries they also use that a lot.
Okay, abusuafo mo de monhwɛ saa de yi a ɛkɔ so yi. Saa community hwɛ deɛ ɔmo wɔ a ɔmo de yɛ ɔmo adwuma. Nti wogye sɛ capital sɛn koa na ebetumi te sɛ ehia a wobetumi de asɛte something like this. A no nti da biara no something hold you ase no. Wode hwɛ machine gɛle processing a na ɔmo yɛ no. Nti wogye sɛ 20,000 koraa no wontumi mfa nyɛ biribi. Anaasɛ si ne mpatwɛn boa.
What me, but these machines, is it locally manufactured? And I said,
Apart from this style here, the engine, part, the other ones and then the need locally.
Okay.
The idea be I think say there's another way of a crown so a bit me crown because and yes by force say engine no kwa na be here say I think say mechanical way no ubetimi senior correct cassava do yeah Mr. Life okay I think say you will be to say and they will share phone and Facebook what mu share obi na why sap a gym the ye tia so ya wodi call ye friends empo roller na say the empo
Yeah, me hu ya
oh so my yes I DJ match bi engine bi animo
treadmill.
yeah engine bi anim ti no the same thing say we say no so no yesu betimi ayi say obi a oye ade wo sa animal no otrasia obetimi aseti bibia at least you betimi take it from there ye hia say by force no say ko hwehwe nkofo engine ansa na de ba be yes ade no was the for no na wo mo nye we si ansa na mo de nya gere no kan ensa na abekora na ye de na na ewo ti I think say betimi Mr. Pamphon pacha kwa ba
Senior, baby, I'm going to make us. I want to also.
yo yeah yate so wo de ni je na Mr. nti wo je de yate why eya na wo de aponchini bia ba because me won say woni Mr. Life na wo ho Mr. Life a kire say woni wo na wo ho wo enfa Kwame danso so de ni mu say ho no so mponche na wo ho no
Can't no.
no me ka kire wo se obi
No,
person kasa kire nyame a okasa fra mem ti me ka kire wo ha nti Kwame danso so no de ni wan say ho no se de so ho mponche no o mapampa mu no emu ohwam yi nti wo de e wo ba fa me elugu car so ne fa bra why it also why you Mr. Harry, which community is that? Please, can you link me to someone there to invest there? Yo, Mate, Mr. Harry. Mate, any problem? So many things. Yeah, sometimes and American. Ye nyina yɛte sɛ obi abɛka mbi sɛ ɔyɛ wei na ne nyinaa yɛkɔ but ya ne idea si bebrebe gugu yɛhwena no a yɛhu yɛsɛ wode believe sɛ saa abankye asɛm yi a yɛka koraa no hwɛ yɛ ɔmo a ɔmo yɛ mmoa yi kɔ market day bi akɔ akɔsesa hɔ nnua no nyinaa ɔmo awie market no awie no kɔsesa hɔ bankye nwura no nyinaa ɛwɔ hɔ no nyinaa sesa never dry said I think say senior mubashi na nya mubashi I think so feed an animal oye no okosisa no ba be dry no so akoto ama omo mo until ni nyina the same of forms of a business ya ehia capital yeah ehia intention ehia voluntary action because so wo fere ade as ade no ntimi nyama ne ye wo fere ade a ntimi nyama ne ye ti moma yɛhwɛ saa deɛ wei sɛ ɛso senior mpakyɛ wowɔ bi foforɔ bi a na aka yɛ 10 minutes na
Yeah, so I was talking about a friend and varieties. No, so we more they just omuya bunch duana no makudua. So me uncle in the mama onim the variety. So, but there are a few varieties or more developed or Ghana. So, back a friend no tech banching. As a fine. It was developed in Ghana. Now your friend Sika banching. So, your abasafita. So, your efisiafi. Your aglefia. Those ones no are the very common ones we develop in Ghana. It is a compare variety we no characteristics so characteristics into no Nina no crop research center war those banchini na or more in description. Into share ni ope na what share the direction our person do production then you choose from there. But Uncle GBBI in every farmer, maybe a farmer no crown, he doesn't even know the variety or the odria. But variety has a specific use. Either say or they adria specifically to feed animals or for starch production or for human consumption and all those kind of things. No? Nina what that friend sentence to acquire now about those names now and as a person or the variety very common ubetumi use or ubetumi achiro. Then you buy the sticks from there. Yeah. And I said now kind of sticks and this also and your chips are those times not I remember say time I me war research to I think said 2000 early said 2000. Yeah, you remember war research center or Mampong, Ashanti Mampong. Or more cassava, no more cassava. I don't know whether it is still there. No more cassava development research center. Now we were developing and testing certain varieties. Internal farmers in the Baho, no more for free. We only to chat near their mom and say, oh, go and try it, go and try it. We were trying to spread that cassava sticks all over the place. But unfortunately, now, it's not like that anymore. You have to pay money for it. So everything is now not free. Free things can cost you because you don't know whether this is free or it is not. This is free. You want to get it from certified growers and who knows they are good. So
yeah, Mr. President, but Mr. Kwamete or name be mom.
Yeah.
Or say or persuade or Jennifer Cassava do and also no obeti me. I'm an ideas wɔ ho na owie a wɔde wo nso atoa so nti yɛnhyɛ ase free ase mpakyɛw.
Ono cassava do no there then.
For bread.
For bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, say cassava do no. What we Ghanaians have used it for. Say normally your friend no
More.
is that Agbelima
Well, yeah, okay.
I don't know if that is the name. So Kambenku and Nadika cry then.
Afra,
yeah. Just to get the friend the thickness of it. Yes, you can use it for several cassava donuts is very soft, starchy paste and it's processed from a friend then the root nankasano. So would mine in a form of feed. Now we have several uses of that, but it will depend on what you want to use it for. Ghana say the fufuna so in Central Africa the omo eyusu the rape friend banana using the textiles industry.
Yeah.
East Africa so omo eyusu the mixe other things like beans, meat, vegetables, Mom will be so a bread. It is a bread now person concentrate on a cassava bread. It is the cassava bread is very, very common in the Caribbean. So they can develop it into several things like flattening or big bread. They use it into chips. So the Afro Caribbean communities, they love it. They use it for that reason. That's the area over to me I concentrate more on that. So
na nti we say no rich zones in Ghana because me na me say ne obibi your friend by anwemu banche on say me so ya you some anwe bi or a type of soil bi o na uduam banche ha na de pa obo so a udua obo se na ne fufuo den
right.
yeah odi baba woman boss na afi na wa hwe na
Yeah, say banchi ni bo ho a eso, ebi ho a futu. At the
sa
same so inti na so hu the variety na wo pe no. So because ebi ho a wo ne sen enso. So
yeah
ebi ho so a futu. I say bayre no. So ebi
yeah
also din pa din. Ebi also very very soft. Inti no also that those characteristics no and san why then we do. And I make us say cassava does well in loamy sandy loam soil. Sandy loam. So it does well. Clay loam is very difficult because remember a tuber, not a root tuber. Until say to me kwasasini deep. Into no wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the country, say soil now one excuse me, soil now one say a sandy loam, a rich, a friable. Ubotumi dua cassava very fine. Mesha aseme about several countries are omo yedai, omo dua bi. So omo soil or friend profile no different, but they still find a way to grow it. Until me find say be our Ashanti region, or central region, or eastern region, or what called northern region. I don't know whether they grow a lot of them, but over the southern area, so most of those southern regions, western region, for example, those areas, their soil is a little bit great. I'll go to me I day. It however, says soil no it's not good. A clayey soil. One way or the other, you can improve it. So you can improve it to meet your needs. I buy some kind of clay sandy loam. Will be to me cassava ma we are good. However, nowadays, you really don't need the land. So who says sacks, for example. So when you sacks the brave, but you try it sacks which him two are what no will load with sandy loam soil. Now the CC land needs to be brave, no will be a so the fact say when you are the depth and the soil, it will develop and grow the tubers. That one, it becomes easier when you are harvesting without any problem. So, into your cassava or friend then sacks or what, ube to me, real.
eti ebuziafo say de senior aka no so mo hwe say de video e sikoyi a community bi a mo ye gere de ho na me hwe video a in fact I think yesterday me dey talk so me to a video a ukoye your platform so dada ya da dada ukohwe video na atena si na hwe no 2 times ya ideas bia na baby ohun say ye lupus bia na idea ma because challenges bebrebe na was starting from how omudua banchi no transportation from the farm no transportation from the farm to the omo baby omo tie eno no problem hwe the how omo si prepare banchi no and also so another factor and also by the way the water form one number one supporter SOS number one supporter okay said enema si koso a na obetima atena ase ayɛ dɛ atimi afesi some ideas yɛbɛtumi ayɛ aboa wɔ ɛna so far no hwɛ ne wohoro koraa no how wɔn si yɛ no it is still the same ayi na another thing nsuo a wɔde wohoro wobɛtumi ato borehole ɛwɔ one of the community ɛnyɛ sɛ saa community wei nko ara na meka o but many communities a wɔyɛ saa nneɛma wei no me list nneɛma a ehia ɛma all these things no wobɛtumi ato nsuo afɛkyi nsuo a ɛyɛ correct ɛyɛ pure nsuo ama wɔn a ɛnkɔyɛ stream water na wɔn sesa no at the same time wobɛtumi afɛse economies ɛyi so ayɛ dɛ ɛde ama community no a community mu de wei deɛ ɛyɛ example yɛnwie still na no you use indigenous way and quite word of indigenous okay say me use because I didn't know say use the ye one ye dey niam it I didn't use indigenous any more than enjoy hwe how a machine a ye omo e dey grind no enti ha say nkwa no opportunities ni bebrebe metime akere omienu so obesete come e wo ho ama wo mo any one thing even we kura so no you another loophole enso so esa ɛwɔ hɔ media kwa de ka metima ka sɛ o seti wi a pepa na solar panel kura so yɛ de ɛfa ɛma no to cut the cost no a solar panel kura ne nso so no enhyɛ da enye biara the same time no wo a wa set sa o machine ya o come ya yɛ kan no upe bibia obetimi de pilima na cassava na uwi a wo betimi asa ye feeding ama anase wo akora no ye moa wo chire obu perform na wa ye emoa efa ye de efa kan ho wape wababo ya baako de aye asupport wo hwe we a ehia protections enso so de wo ho na de baako a mani abre because one of our because Emmanuel the boss Emmanuel comment here no baby beba no your friend mortuary no mortuary no ho no the one of the wasting procedure ewo ho because omo process ni nyina no okay but edru mortuary ho na omo de ebekọ ho na ubon se eho na omulusu all the liquid no because how no could drain liquid from the cassava peel na o machepu na wie no o machepu na wie nti charred water no and as a liquid no ni nyina ye the eco waste because community no enye omo main idea and as omo main focus on enye liquid no here na omo hia omo ye dey omo you can say cheap na omo nya na omo de koye omo gere no enti nsuo no so no se wo ye a obetimi ayede apɛ nti hɔ no saa machine no omo frɛ no mortuary nti hɔ no omo ferment bibia na omo yi nsuo no efrim ɛno so kra so no obetimi anya another way a obetimi ayede ayama omo ye wie so a ye wo ne che so no wo hwɛ se de omo si chi no na ɛbeba na hwɛ obetimi anya another way machines ukọ hu misa ekofia mu Mr. Amufa ono so ye SOS member obetimi aseti machine amawa obetimi ache woso because so na no we obetimi aye de but eja no bo wo mu dodo eja no ebo wo mu dodo and so another program a ebetimi aye awie in sa process na akra so another factory obetimi enso ade aye na o mo wie kra no by the way mo ma me one of the tip se o pese wo ye gere factory anaso o pese wo ton gere a Mr. Wada one of the way I betimi e de asua ehun gere no se gere ne good quality na sakakra bi wonum wo de gere no gu wonum na se echewa wonum a wo so de ons minim se mo nya sa ayishu bi da wo de gere gu wonum na se that means se gere no enye quality papa sank ankeka wonum dia that means I didn't a quality papa. Na what we no so no get no see to is get no I abing because I mean you and the preservation so and so you problem because get abing panel it miss you over years. sɛ ɔmokye gari nom kyi ne yie paa na sɛ humidity bi ama mu no a ɛdɛ ɛsi hɔ over years. Nti ɛno nso so ɛyɛ one of ade a woyɛ obi a wobɛtumi so ayɛ but yɛnhyɛ aseɛ kɛse starting small no anaasɛ mo nipa bɛyɛ 10 obi nsɛte machine for way obi nsɛte machine for way obi nsɛte so only for the transportation obi nsɛte way for way yɛbɛnya yɛmfa soɔ ɛwɔ baabiara. And the last no why na ɛkɔpɛ mfiri this community no mmra market ɛno nso so ɛyɛ another strategy ma wo sɛ wobɛtumi ayi so a ɛyɛ yi wodi akɔ kukuru ɛyɛ nso no big city no koraa nso no deɛ ɔde ma market ladies nso so no ɛno nso ɛwɔ hɔ storement wɔ hwɛ baabi a ɔmo store room sɛ ɛsi teɛ nti all these things yɛ nneɛma bi a it's up to me ne wo mmienu a yɛwɔ opportunity yɛn na yɛwɔ aburokyire titiri no yɛwɔ opportunity wɔ sikasɛm mu because wokɔbɔ besia no a ne cost no ɛnte sɛ deɛ wakɔbɔ besia wɔ Ghana bank wɔn nyinaa yɛ adeɛ yes it's true sɛ yɛwɔ another challenge ɛyɛ yɛka sɛ the trustee anaasɛ team no ɛno nso no we will talk about it senior Kwame Atiaba ɔno nso yɛ obi a ɔno nso obɛtumi de afa saa nneɛma no senior
boss
mato buo bi ama wo
Mr. Alex, Mr. Felix, Pacho Mechiawo, and the Abusianfo nyinaa. I think sir the course no I am a fit. And I'm a person measure say one of the things Mimi who said I'm just thinking about it sir can there be a situation whereby maybe I would you want to mean but you know the area now this has been me way at Tembiana like having a mobile manufacturing setup be Obekono maybe a farm where you set up your tent because Chinese if we were this tent be a high quality ones are ubetimi asset be ensu around nema nanka tisania masana kwa village kuna unim say we na ekoso nanka wo de woniama akọ. I've thought that for air plantains and so I'm just thinking around it say will it work for cassava and as a cassava and it sounds say especially with Gary side it sounds say as a omujana for some time be squeezing moonsoon into the and no bit to me I take you time too much unlike ABI other products but maybe when is there are more opportunities and as a loopholes when it comes to ABI about 5 people be crabby to me at team up the per community be asset up the process before say bit me I right now no with Chinese packaging machines who send your money be on my so easy and when I say I was so impressed me who Nigeria near brand TBA on also snacks near masa and I think say it was so cool but plantain chips yeah there me has your movie my to
yeah
it maybe when is that plantain chips no maybe we can research more about it and see how best you bet me no and I normal kunkunte you grano so what mean how I over dry no mean who is so the dehydrator a dry na the color will be much better than say a would a riano a sa areas me who say a way say the chance na you bet me look into it having a dehydrator omudwa anank were dehydrated then you just need a milling machine 1 million we are ABI additives been at but most of the time they be a salt be kakra na at but say yes nank 1 million na powder no but now me bread concern and say bread to do the bread do you have to come up with a flour powdered one and sun and I say said Garina now pay we say I think I have to do a little bit research kakra on that. But the research kakra say gluten free. Pay gluten free we say no health cautious in no ubetimi enya because there was even a suggestion say ubetimi the chai seeds no manema afra to let it be. That will be your marketing strategy. Say a more healthy and I don't know. And some was even suggesting also with me the moringa crown. So Afra, and you can sell that to the diabetic communities. And I say more health conscious we see. You know. And that is something I'm before say where the we say public way will be what that means anyway say which may add a little bit of research kakra now the account because I was and so I was impressed seeing a lady was turning a garage into a bakery Nifie garage into a bakery before sending money we can start a small now a boy but that's me brave things
Senior
like that is
comment, mpacho botre hwe maya ye maame ya nso so ye on inventor o ye maame ya mechia bia obi ya mechia uye buo ye maame ya yo bi a on the din on inventor say what try na I hope for say na achi bia nyame adom a SOS the machines eba pick you video niema wo ye na ye dia kira masanse se na wutie SOS na wuntie ne kwa because we are powerful. We are powerful.
sure.
We are powerful because and yeah, we unko na menu say oh yeah, and yama bebrebe ho a woni edi akire nti no empire ne yebo say o dreams no so any how we desire na nya betima be come through.
Yeah. My media me pay o marketing way. I don't know me pay. And I'm a pet. That is something I'm a for say. A bit mind. Me that's be brave for the opportunity. Me who is you might be brave or honor. As you any brave, you bit me.
Yeah, unse or friend for ebano plantain na unse omo plantain joint. And as omo how do I say omo tutu plantain no. So no ma omo is kapa omo tutu plantain no.
Yeah.
Omo is kapa but
any kobi no.
Any kobi no. But me share that who so will be to banchi because banchi so unya nice one now to one.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It is a maintain.
It is a maintain. So
but and a cramadibio.
Sir. But me share that who join places and go to banchi say your tongue. So
but sorry. Mr. Felix, where you sorry said me chawano. But me when is a bunch to turn on. O to turn raw AB and no be check. But okay, dear me ya wahano mono na me person me use to adwene hwe say Ghana no how can you do that on a commercial base and I say on a large scale. This a bunch na ya no ana no. Ya no actually me ko hu was Spanish store bi. Omo de omo no a na omache e wo oil mu. Na omo timi chiama ne baba ye crispy.
Wow.
Maya, me pa cho peke de.
Enti me hu ne sa me so me no a adwo kra no. Na me de agu ebia oven na say air fryer.
Yeah.
Air fryer no etimi brown ne ye eye ne crispy. Enti me hu ne say o joint bi pa na bia who introduce bibi sa ubetimi anu na anya air fryer kase kakra nkrofo no ba number order na chesanka why ne sa e dia mom intiminim but it looks like yatoto na brawe ya mesandi bi a kire yeah it depends on how I open
yeah fabra na ye van to so platform so ne hwe ade
because and at the end she dark dodo in Kenya side Canada.
What you come yami adu mo chinyampa if you chinyampa ko metra se me ko hwe ebi na kroma banch ne boarding o he nyagro
Good.
ne boarding
Mr. Felix Patrick, so I'm sorry for interrupting Patrick.
Oh man.
no
O kasa no na sa de no eba metrim say start share that so be o Ghana say o gina bia ase etoto banche ton that kind of thing. Ntino say yeah, can marketing, cassava marketing, can that be an area for people to focus on? Now, how can they do it to make it more productive? So, yeah.
Oh, okay, with that particular one, I think so for over joint nebewi because from the fire no or from the air fryer no and the money look crispy. Would you see on kakra na do go back to that softness, no?
okay
Uh-huh.
that means say make for be to say easy survey here or be to say a fast food
Uh-huh.
or already sa a grade a yibi
Yeah.
obetimi apeki that idea na tire
I know cross Ghana the wait my try next you know. On the no I trying to find if you trying to find
yeah because first not near cocoa I think so
yeah
but then is cocoa wine
yeah
but manche de onye de
but Charles me send bibi amount
what
body a cry body a says your match a package you ton stores
senior
body
first
a
nyame
cocoa
aduma we patch me twa no mama yefa body enko next week I think say bit my boy other say next week and I say next discussion we dey fan to next discussion because body so so ade bi a go waste papa if yeah why senior comment
yeah my transfer
yemfa because me call November 2023 no me ko hu ene bo a say yi misadu a driver one so team so ben me chia no bi obi a asem o kan was share senior me e call yi seminar no kra o ka just say sa body say we say no so ban this time of period body no ntimi nto but in no okoye kronfo ene ne de bebo enso be connect go ne de pro nti I think say the usika no mama yempe one day na eno so no yenye no so nko afo say the say banche no because o say ye use sa staple ye the say we if a community mu nyina no o say Cassava one by one na itimi twe adwen baso because operation feed Ghana no value added maximizing the eno nyina for me part you so dem ya James Akomet
yes I know you dream pa yeah focus on bunch you know
ti sempanyfo ma me kwan nyame adom next week ye betimi de body na show no obi am prepare for body yeah Mr. Fence but nyame adom next week ye betimi anase ye mfa nya yim fro
Oh, you bet me, I can brought in who some. I think they brought in
okay
a bunch of they are friends, they are family
yeah
members.
omu po mu mi nyina so fi ewie wo yi wodum
Adwene.
openi ba chem ba kwa ba
Adwene.
Correct, sir. About to say, Ethiopia.
Oh, yeah, Joe.
What's it?
so
yeah e jo so me ba chem ba Mr. Pavod mpa cho na ka say Mr. Pavod
I na Pamford nene a decent meaning now.
because me na me tika se bi wo di na chi okay but o timi ko akwa ba
Yeah, yeah. My whole importance and maximizing value added. Cassava. Let me tell you. Great topic. Well, me come from a different angle as usual. Hey, me also yeah Operation Feed Ghana, right? It's right now no. Yenye aduane nni ma ne mmu so a mekɔpɛ starch ayɛ den I alcohol and son already I betting in a much the appetition now. Manche is almost at the book could be appetition. Hey, go boom you. Hey, my concert to be alarm of because I'm not concert to be alarm of Masreno. Anyway, so I think that what maybe from me my perspective there. So Ansana make go into any agri product be a mono. Make sure how I may maximize no use ɛwɔ yɛn yɛ kurom ansa. So because here Cassava brain every time we are it means yɛntumi ɛnkonka yɛ kurom aduane mu so because every time biara no aduane tumi bu at a certain time na aduane nso asa yɛ short at a certain time. Nti leverage no yɛbɛnya no wɔ here a yɛbɛnya aduane tuo mu the whole 12 months because eburo season twam a yɛnyae dɔkono di o ɛne yɛnyae banku di ɛne yɛnyae akpele di nti adan na ɛkwan bɛn na yɛbɛfa so yɛbɛnya eburo season all year yɛbɛnya eburo all year round a price no bɛyɛ the same anaasɛ price no bɛgyina a ɛfluctuate too much sɛ bi a ɛnɛ metɔ eburo 1 bag 300 cedis na me 4 5 months time afei na eburo no kɔ akɔpa 1,002 adan because yɛn farmers no yɛntumi maintain how you produce adeɛ no consistently to come to the market. Now cassava, okay, the same thing. I know some Mr. Felix at varieties be brave, or the idea start, or the idea alcohol, all these things. I understand 100%. But the ye dino, me the ye kokunte, me the ye gari, me the ye fufu. Do we have a time, like I said, every time we are make market, we are many banks at a good price. Ghana for your supply would be near free, I excess. And suddenly, she be a carbon thing. I think that is the mindset that we should have. Say, be a year where you couldn't be it was a boost of my because you will be an motor. That is when civilians, citizens, need say a combo book a crabia na hejayaba and then body okay me my friend say oko kurasi odino oko baby amoa no na me so nkɔhwɛ ade ma me unim say onya body ento obi we kura o say we kura o say we kura obi omuti kwaye mu no ɛna
Yeah.
ɔso ɔkɔ ne fu mu bɛ about probably about 10 acres o chini mu ano onya body mbaako mako I say 11 it drew 11 the nini di anu nyina no de ma me 1,700 we kurasi o enti o average a right now na fe na ofiri krum oba be fa ka abakumase from Kumasi to Accra no dey ba owie na sa body we no make calculate the amount of the toy any amount or no transportation chain or the be drew yeah ebeko over probably maybe 2,500 or something. Now we but at the same body you know me no beko ekura bi so ase wo baby maybe bro half an ase somewhere baby a body abusu wo ho a say scan okuta na hekro betim dey talk ama it's a level playing field for produce na ye produce no it's a make that make us say we a farmer let be a what conquer baby a how about the other regions say a bro abusu wo o corner e bia na barrier so short wo ho because ye wo office chichire ene ye nya body ento yi wakọ ho 3 weeks ni okay so free okra na me so ontwen na Saturday we no free ho enti cassava wo kan one sem no there are other people who can say right now no I was watching the Ghanaian farmer no see guy needs to do or for off takers or muji a Chinese will be omudi alcohol near the so a type of beer. But meanwhile, no call the same village, maybe almost short to Gary because in Nipano, a branch baby, indeed, one really the year with you.
Yeah.
And only me only a year, me all has say. As ye come say, I see Operation Free Ghana. It's not about Sikane Babe buy a bottom. Is kind of but are we thinking about how it will feed the population or not? That is my question. May the best start to Hana, may the see oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, Mr. Menuka, no, good. So, but I'll say yes, as I said, agribusiness. So, the agribusiness no be a ni sector, obi a ni focus. So, me find say within the community, no, farmers no obi a ideas, no obi a ni focus. Ube ya farmer ono odua specifically for food. Ube ya farmer also odua specifically for other things. But the bottom line is regardless of near udua bia, no, we want to make sure say you are meeting demand. So the koya one-sided say ye dua banching because of say you say you produce gari, you produce fufu. I feel say and shada emboa bebre saa. So because a business na yeah. Now we are with different ideas. Into no share honest. But that's it.
Yo, Senior Combat. Okay, I'm set. Okay. Senior Combat, but you're so open, so yeah. Your penny di ababet. Obeni said the Osikano, many junipi, say if you say, because sometimes, obi a person ko bi na adwene de to so ane exportation. Nti said the okano and also so idea yeah yem feed within ourselves in more afena the exportation yem feed within ourselves nti said na Mr. Person so kano important to say se o person dua banchi na hu market ya person reach because se wo asokore mampon na asokore mampon no banchi ni omu hia oho no factory a yedi ye banchi starch ni ho na se wan kasa mu no nya ready so be starch na me kodua na owi afa na ko hwehwe ayi no omo ye sa that factory no because ye will be ho factory si bi ho minim be property e wo de but se wo be bia the transportation no be problem a eni so odua sa de no better so be dua local for feed instead of usika no and also ebeboa and sometimes you say the usika no say even empo baby a wote no ho na sa machine wo na sa starch ni sa ethanol ni manema na how can they also produce the same batch for feeding because omo produce that for industrial area no you didi
Me main point on this one they say say after na you no share ideas and they be pick free while venture into this projects. Now over venture into projects, mean I see say a business, I understand, but the ebe quantum amount the nipa na used to it. Right now, no say me can say be a me ye na my ye it's some a friend say banchi some the aye banchi brodoa. How many Ghanaians percentage wise and a be crying out umbeso banchi panum because ebe new to them. But banchi no to me the idea I check it ama inzimafo. Meaning say Gary obiadi yoko Gary beans the Gary the Buo Ghana. kokonte deɛ ɛna meka no ɛno na ɛsa ntɛm so obiara sɛ no ɔntɔ bi nso wokɔtɔ baabi ɛno na ɛsa ntɛm obiara di kokonte ɔmo a ɔmo tiri fufuo koraa daa ɔmo ani hwɛ wɔ ɔdi kokonte so eti mɛhwɛ adeɛ a sɛ meyi because ɛyɛ beginning ɛna bi afei na mede me sika ahyɛ mu sɛnea ɛbɛ encourage me ama ma atoa so no mɛyɛ adeɛ a every corner bi a Ghanafoɔ ani gye ho a ɔmo pɛ a ɛbɛkɔ ntɛm hɔ asa me wɔ mu no metumi asate bring the other aspect of the business into it obi frɛ me ahomakye bɛyɛ 5 no ɔka about ɔpɛ sɛ ɔgye 25 acres now mpɔnkye bi ɔbɛka ɛna me sɛ masa wayɛ bi da ɔsɛ daabi na me sɛ okay pɛ one plot wode 25 acres na gye to hɔ ma pɛ a plot ne pɛ mpɔnkye mmiɛnsa pɛ gu so na me ne wɔn walk through some steps ne ma ho time ansa na deɛ wɔka no why also yɛn nyinaa yɛwɔ big dreams me I want to do big things but me start farm ni sisi ana Ghana for one so mu antɔ koraa na wa na akɔ discourage me the ideas that show I like it 100% diversity business different types but maybe they on the business side make sure say pe dey ebi a west to west koraa be nya trouble for the amount no adu sika no asako bi that is what I'm saying. I'm not saying say be a chinchina trying that be. I'm just saying say on the business side, you know, per the Ghana for any be some a bro be happy, we will be happy. Okay, bunch we the okay. Once I'm no, maybe you'll be able to say, hey, man, who's what do 10 acres of cassava? Obey me provide me factory with be a quantity of say, okay. Now I'm who say okay. Amanfo di kura na yɛtɔ factory nso wɔ ha anaa mɛhyɛ pɔ ha mɛyɛ say then we are in business that's all I'm saying but I like say the varieties you know.
Okay. Pacho, metime kasa.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
penny area, yeah.
Yeah. Before say ebi omo etie anyway see no. Ideas ni bi ne nneɛma na ɛbɛtotɔ mu no. So wa ha na mo nko ara na sɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ biribi a never say sɛ wokɔte wɔ baabi a keke ntia na wo jump into it. The first thing is adekona wuhu ye na nka wopɛ sɛ jump into it and that shows say we identify an idea bi ana say we identify an opportunity be somewhere into the next step then unim hunim de yɛtae ka wa no biribi biara bɛyɛ bia but modern aso benya hunim de until you make sure say the necessary research ɛne dia nkrɔfo akeka ne nyinaa no be make sure say saa nneɛma nyinaa be put saa nneɛma no in place. Na watimi ahu sɛ okay adeɛ wei a ebia meti yie koraa no me koraa no baabi a mewɔ a mɛhyɛ adeɛ no ase afi koraa no mɛyɛ adeɛ a nkurɔfoɔ bɛtumi bɛyɛ accept anaa sɛ nkurɔfoɔ ayɛ accept a what are some of the other things a ebia nkurɔfoɔ ani bɛgye ho ɛna mpo no I think sɛ ebi mu akeka ebia like there is a okay last time mebɛka Jane bi ho asɛm okay you know so there's a factory there na cassava ye bia wahu sɛ gari processing bi wɔ baabi na sɛ wodua cassava no kra na at least ɛsɛ make sure sɛ ɛhwɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ gari no ɔmbɛgye we say na o market no ɛwɔ he nti ɛsɛ yɛtumi tetetete saa nneɛma no nyinaa se na mpo no yɛsan hwɛ the process what and what do we need and san yɛbɛtumi bɛ achieve into the idea you might come on here the idea will come up but as I say one can so we underground work because underground work ebeboa will be bree into we yes any money nyina we are and now betimi so okay right now me set is a betimi de me ho ewura ebia business kuna me person na say project kuna me person be de me ho ewura mu no ti me we ni bibi kakra meka say bia obi obeba betie anaso obi a wo tie right now no ideas ni die bia na ya toto agum but hwe how a won so be build on that idea no ti dia me de beka ho an no be da se bebre.
Wow. Yo yenye run up na ya mfansi na nyame adma ya de ahye so because say ye do east mu an nte bi nkofo ye busy a de okum na ponchi ku na ponchi de aponchi no mo abupa ponchi bi an mo mfre ye na ya papa emponchi no emu odin yie omo pampa mu no eno na odi ye nkwan wi na afi o horo nsakra na enko samra na ye friend last ngara ntimi horo nsama na enko yi nti mo de na mo mfre ya papa na mo ko hwe mo ponchi. And I think say a senior brother and so a big group also ton name be for 8,000. The whole person should be asking so no and so bet my good idea and I say person watch over even so a good idea. Yeah. Mr. Ferguson opinion mo bet market be na for we are yeah they run there for I don't want to say.
Yo, Medobiase, we have shared good information. Happy Easter to everyone. Banchine de ehu hia. Inti no se oko cassava production just know your direction, which direction you are going, what you want to use the cassava for. Senior na yenua kwamete ekano. Get information, which is very, very critical about the products now, Okwakudiano. Not just from any source, but credible sources. Unya much problem bia. Tino you better be biase. I'm sure bia.
Yo senior eda senior minister also so ne umra oyere na me kai mo e senior ne book no o chinya mpa no pa me post wo SOS platforms ni nyina so YouTube Facebook obia no mo modern se mbakwa hwe ne book na kira kwan na epe bi eto ho na onso so no bibia oye bia no what seek for information from there, you know. Obeni mpacho nyabotre ma na ejedu yensa kan jedu na me mane nkasa ansa na ma wo de wie me da ase ejedu
Mpanimfoɔ
me bacho happy Easter.
ɔno yɛ agye so sɛ
So I don't know apie Easter dear hell.
ɛno no yɛagye so sɛ memka menim mpo sɛ Easter no kora du
Mo de ene de yemfa ye me no ano ma tebe da ase minim me bacho boko de
wokora wonim sɛ deɛ ɛgye so na woba bɛprɛ me akɔtom dom ahwɛ yɛ ni
And I
experience
said
bi no
and Friday and Easter. Yes, yes, yeah, Judas I just carry no do one of pebbles beyond corner. Yes, idea.
ɛnɛ yɛhia loan de ayɛ adeɛ ɔmmerɛ yɛ bi yɛpɛ bosia
Oh, that be
akɔdua yɛpɛ bosia akɔdua
wakotu ntino obi
Oh, I
akosise.
got to
monkyerɛ yɛ bɔɔla no ɔtoo so no ne yɛmpɛre hwee ɛmfa bi nkɔdua bankye
and then I said,
Yeah.
ejedu
mpakyɛ wapɔn yɛmpɔn wae memembu mmara so nti mepakyɛ sɛ wapɔn nti yɛmpɔn wae
o de ma me we se nko a call of action ka na me de be wi but me de ma a call of action na
ansɛm no dodoɔ na no yɛaka ɛm sɛ yɛba a mpanimfoɔ wɔ nim deɛ bɛkyerɛ
me
adeɛ
bacho we 2 minutes of a call of action na kan pese me de wi nti no wa de waba ya ma me da ase
mepakyɛ wote me nka deɛ
yeah
okay
yeah, it's okay.
deɛ yɛbɛsrɛ yɛ nyinaa ne sɛ I think sɛ bi sɛ hwɛ baabi a wowɔ no adeɛ no a wɔdua no bisa sɛ ɛne bra Felix ayi no ne presentation no no kaa sɛ adeɛ no a wokɔ produce no hwɛ sɛ market no ɛwɔ hɔ ma wo because wo produce wie anaa wodua nnɔbaeɛ ne ba na woanya atɔfoɔ a ɛyɛ problem deɛ ɛsɛ sɛ wohwɛ ne sɛ ye nyina no obi abetimi aye bi ama na ya nso betimi aye eye commitment eye said the wahu fama ene wahu odin obi ahu odin is different say wo ye na wo ye ni yi a edwa no wo hye he kura na obenya atofo said the na mpanimfo kan say obi o no wo cassava factory a ben wo no kona ko bisa ne say variety ben na wo hia me wa asase na me so me hya ase ndua wonim say wodua o nye wa adwene say wo no ukudua banchi na wie na odi akwa step by force onto ukọ sa obeka achiro so ompe e ba ne sa o value no be kofom ye be sire kakra bi a obetimi a hya ase no wo hya ase na wo hia problem a eno nti na mpanimfo no wo ha no na ye nyina no ye nhia na yenye na mpacho mintimi nkọ wa bra BBC wo platform no so ye be sire mo ya wo ni gidie untumi mmefo so me se menje de wo gidi nindi nti obe type bibi a emfa de ntia yete platform no ho a na se obi e remind o peacefully no anka ye nyina no ye wo obuo ema ye ho a e wo se wo gitum na wo delete ade ni firi so enya fe na wo betwe da awere because wo enyo na obekire me se manopose me mfa nam enkohyem obi anya akwala ye nyina ye mpanimfo enya wo na wo bekire me de sese me ye but uber platform so a ye wo mra de wuji ni di na wo pese wo profession no ono wo de mra ena na ye adwuma o de obuo ena na ema mpanimfo okọ ba bia na amanfo di dwa wo ba bia ye ndi dwa no otwe aba ena o de pam wo mo nti se wudi na chi na se wo ntimi ndi mra so e wo platform a ye ba emwa yen wanha na matwatra na me fancy hie na no wa ha ya ye da mpanimfo ase bra Felix ya me hira pa mo chew mo amonto bra Felix book no winya bi a ukọ Amazon na ewo ho the book is really loaded. I'm telling you, the book is really loaded and get one. Legend in Bajo in Chiao.
Yes, sir.
That was it.
Ejedu, that's nyame nhyira. And now no a year I'm saying na said na no bi buso asekura. I'm say wo. Di onkra ewo.
Na ordinary tight in eba na so the offering eba.
I know the nyeduru ho a. And say you know trata na de be load niema.
Yes, we are aware. Media me kwa dan ya news na eko because me ba na say we yes obey me na so dan so am bu dan ne fa agu. Now this can I akuafo na mo de kuya e de feedi o my Ghana mo ma sha ase a mo ye bi mo wa adwene se mo be ye bi a mo sua de na mo de akwakobo bra na mo de feedi o my no ye ma mo nyina mo ani adwuma ye da mo nyina ase e bi se mo ni ho a ye ni ho mo ni ho aduane ni sis mo na mo nkakra ya no ene ye nyina no ye pe bi adi a ye benya bi adi ye ma me no benya bi abobra da mo nyina ase akuafo mo ni adwuma.
Wow. Say the ejedu aka no. And then we post bi nso so Facebook, YouTube, that's was Facebook page ho. Ukọ abeho. Ohwe ma me pani a oso aba a wo bo no na the whole day aben no twe no bo no no wi a wasade a wa mabobo ya befa no da koye ngo. Nti wa hwe se the ejedu kan. Nti ye de me no mi no ye be ho asa aba table so but ye nim be be de efiri ba. Yama Ghana for kwefo nyina yiko Mr. Charles Farm Delight yami nhyira nso so ye adwuma ewo o channel ne wumfo mu a wo Ghana yami nhyira ejedu ka book asem Mr. First ejedu so book ho aye the entrepreneurs no se wo pese wo hye bibia so Ghana anasa Africa abra unko bank ma mumfa bibi nkoto onwuri mu a wo hye book mu a obetimi ayusu ideas afa ho ade abedi bibipa ama wonsoso ye de nyame ase se SOS ye wo abemfo ho a omsoso no aprebi no mo ne ye hye ade misamano otutina no Ejadu, Mr. Benu, so I'm quite there. The Bessiana say will be cancelled there.
Okay, I think that I need the Mr. You do be kind. Untimi mba obi fie na wo mba mba mbɛhyɛ so yɛn nyinaa yɛ egyidie me ebinom nso pɛ Kufri, ebinom nso pɛ Mohammed, ebi nso pɛ and I see this thing say the so-called professor Christianity no ha adwene paa ɛwɔ baabi a mentaa nhu sɛ other faith no yɛ a na ɔmo de ɔmo nneɛma epunpun amanfoɔ sɛ Kristofoɔ nko a every platform be we all believe in God, and we believe in spiritual things. But then yet, baby, now open on Kwame Huse, we say, make any number, and I know Senator from US, I say, the enemies of being Karana, Omo Fose, Omo, Kakrana, Omo Nimyansa Chain will be, non content. But next time, to deal with that person, let's know you need free soon, because onipa baako poli argument a obetumi ahwete nipa bebree so nti ɛsa na ɔde weyi n'efiri so na wafrɛ no wɔ side na ɔne n'akasa na waka akyerɛ ne sɛ wɔntumi a ɔn ade ne biem obetumi a you add them back na ongyae deɛ ɔyɛ no yɛ ma ɔmo hu sɛ yɛ nni agorɔ wɔ ase.
But what was it about?
He quoted some scriptures and put in, and some people said that.
Or the alpha hour link.
Yeah. Alpha hour.
Sorry, alpha hour link. And obeche where's no be catch any say.
That's not the right channel.
And your religious platform, we don't
an argument back and forth with a lot of people.
And Osha say or I feel no actually BB say everybody need Jesus. Everybody need Jesus. You are not the one. Maybe I mean, metifia do you want to obey to them? Is a man no. Metia do any? I mean, function manum. And they say sometimes that by force enforcement of and American Jesus. There's a crack one short man. And uncle
there's time for everything. There's time for everything. I know on tap.
And he was.
Yeah, argumentative. I was like, Jesus no son of for say omunileti.
Mami close was in session
close. Mami, so
okay.
Send ya can na say farming. And right now, no, I think a lot of people have a lot of ideas. Ebi no for every crown ideas omu want the person omu ye no. But I won't say bibi ase. Also person kusi abrosan. Usin fifi ye also person we don't pay. Start bibi pass through near pass through things. Ya fire after you mu aye that ase still I see be farming no. You catch the one we be crowd be dwane say o farming. It's in abotre, they take steps, they go through the process. Kakra. Usika beshi, baby. You be real usika, you be your name, I will for beshi. Nina, obetime jina no one, Abaka say, okay, I feel me drilling 10 acres, 20 acres. Say, now if you build the muscles, now we'll go. So, yenya abotre, na, what's running now, and not just going to be implemented in 5 years' time. Just have it behind and say, so obey. They go through the steps there kakra. Because also because will be framing how much from platform so your name bear 5 no me nyane na and someone no can me tie no na me say why you be that or say there be na me say yeah kasa sometimes you the experience ma mo hu say we ya bit me duro that doesn't mean say also cost start free so we are but to create a bottom also do not now pray. Anyway, do you know boss the best here. We thank everybody.
Okay. It was your fault and your penny aka no penny dware a efie su asa. Nti nyame ya domo a se de yesi aka no. Next week ye be kasa afa body ho eye plantain. Mamo mix it. Obi am prepare no. Na ye be dija. yɛda mo ase yɛde bɛsi a yo I think say videos no ɛdɔɔso a ɛbɛboa wɔ nneɛma bebrebe bia interviews ɛwɔ CEOs ɔmo a ɔmahyɛ biribi ase challenges ne nneɛma street young abɛkasa sister Vicky fast food abɛkasa Mr. Boampong abɛkasa ɔwɔ ne sɛ baabiaa wofa baabiaa bia wobɛnya baabi ade ayɛ hwɛ na comment na ebusa ho information ne tu ho anamɔ na ɛbɛboa wo. Operation Feed Ghana, here we go.